Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic in these hot times. Oh my Lord, my vehicle says 103. Lord, that's too hot. Tell you what else is hot? The fact that we are technically back at training camp. Now, today the veterans have arrived. Everybody's starting to go through their COVID-19 tests. So far, we haven't heard anything about any positive tests from the team. We'll find out soon enough if anything does come back positive. We had Stephen Gildry, I guess his name is, undrafted free agent, wide receiver, who has decided to opt out of the 2020 season. Because he was an undrafted free agent, he does not qualify for the financial stipend. So he will receive no money aside from what the signing bonus he got for being an undrafted free agent. His contract does toll over to 2021, so he will basically be around next year, much like Kennedy, whose one-year contract was only for this year, but he decided to opt out. So we'll have both those players back with us next season, regardless. Let's see, John Bay Johnson. I didn't mention this in my previous videos because I forgot so much going on. Like I said, you have him appearing on the commissioner's COVID-19, I forget the slash part, the list, where he's either come in contact with somebody who has COVID-19 or he has it himself and didn't produce a positive test or something like that. Basically, it's a precaution. Once you go on this test or this list, you are just to be tested to make sure anybody that you are around that you might have been in contact with, you're not bringing it with the rest of the team to training camp. So I guess he was in contact with somebody recently who tested positive, and and now they put him on this list, so he stays away from the team until he is officially cleared. What else? We have players on the top 100. Of course, as most of y'all know, as a Cowboys fan, these lists are nothing but popularity contests. But it's still nice to see that Jalen Smith is on it, Tyron Smith is on it, Zach Martin's on it, Amari Cooper has appeared, and Dak Prescott has now appeared in the top 100. Now, you know Zeke is probably going to pop up somewhere. Don't know about Michael Gallup, but that's all the players I'm pretty much thinking are going to be on that list from us. Because those are like the usual names. It's usually our offensive linemen. Travis Frederick probably would have been on the list if he was around. But, you know, it's just like the Pro Bowl. It's a popularity contest, but the Pro Bowl nods they keep as a actual, you know, momentous thing in your career. These top 100s, nobody really thinks about them the next year, or basically after they've came out. You don't really talk about it. Let's see. That's pretty much it for the big news. DeMarcus Lawrence has reported to camp. He's still, you know, apprehensive about the whole thing, but he has decided to show up, take his tests, you know, and basically do his job. I feel for him. I know, you know, he's afraid, as he should be, of bringing something home. But, you know, I guess if it was between staying home and his teammates. He chose his teammates for right now. Now, from what I gathered, they still do have the option of opting out up to August 1st. So they have until this Friday, Saturday, to actually opt out. After that, you are in it. No matter what happens, you are there. But with the two players that have opted out, do you think any more will opt out? I mean, it doesn't sound like, other than Lawrence, not any of the starters has even, hinted at sitting out. Everybody wants to come in here and get this, And I get it. This is like the best time to want to get it, is that first year of installation with a new coaching staff. Because if the world can get back to semi-normalcy by tomorrow, next year, you are already a leg up on teams who may, after this year, fire their coaches. You never know. I don't know if there's going to be many changes after this season, because we don't know how long the season will be. We don't know if GMs and owners are going to be like, well, we didn't really get to have off seasons and everything the way we used to really, assess. So sorry. The coaching staff. Because as it stands, even though we're there, they have to go through what? There's a long list that they have to go through for quite a few days of testing. Then they do a whole lot of classroom work. Then they have to do testing again. Then they do some on-field work. But it's like there's barely going to be any kind of actual physical contact in training camp, except for, I think, 8 padded practices. The rest of the so-called practices will be in helmets and shells, So it's definitely going to be a weird off-season. There's no preseason. Oh, no preseason. That reminds me. With no preseason, this is the time where usually those guys on the bottom tier go to show themselves off for their team or any other potential team that may want to look at them. We have released, yet again, Jordan Chun, running back. I think this is his 3rd straight year of us keeping the guy and then cutting him. And we usually bring him back to the practice squad. He has not been active. The only time we really see him is in training camp and preseason games. They say they like the guy, hence them keep bringing him back, but they never have a space for him, especially since we had Zeke all this time. And now you got Tony Pollard and Olawale, who's still on the team as a fullback. You don't really have space to carry a 3rd running back, because technically your fullback is a running back. So he's just never had a chance to do anything. And now we're doing our cut downs from 90 to 80 before the actual stuff goes on. So he's like our first camp casualty, as you would say. I hate that it's gonna be him, because I kind of like the guy. He keeps coming back. He's never had any issues. They like him, obviously, because they do keep bringing him back. He's proven that he can be a roster guy. He's been on special teams. He's been on offense. He's just never been activated on game days. But he can do a little something in preseason if they ever give him a chance. But, unfortunately, we don't have the opportunity this year to see what these guys can do in a real training camp preseason scenarios. So with Kennedy and Gildry opting out, that is one less receiver we have to worry about and one less corner we have to worry about when we start paring down the rosters and the depth charts when they're starting to put them out. Those are 2 less players. Kennedy is a little more because he has experience. He's been in the league for a while. He can play different positions, and that kind of experience can't be replaced by Diggs and Robinson because they're rookies. But it's going to give the rookies a better shot at making the team. So this year may be trial by fire. They're just going to have to put them out there and sink or swim, and hope. And sometimes it works. I mean, a lot of rookies, you get thrown into the fire. Some of them actually swim, and show that they are athletic enough to make it work. Some sink, unfortunately. Tristan Hill, right now he's sinking. The man is on the edge. Ever since he's came in, he's had that bad history about him, and nothing has changed. Unfortunately, the old coaching staff took a flyer on him when we could have had a safety then, because Rapp and the other guys were still on the board. In fact, all the top safeties were still on the board when Tristan Hill came up, and we picked him. Thanks, old coaching staff. You kind of screwed us there, but it is what it is. Other news, Antoine Woods has signed his exclusive rights tender, so he is on board now. For some reason, he kind of got lost in the news of everything else. I did kind of wonder myself, like, when I looked stuff up, why did it say that he is still not signed? I guess, he was waiting until the last minute to sign his tender. At any other time, he would not have been at the mini camps or anything like that because he hadn't signed it. But now that he has, he can go straight into training camp. I'm happy to have another body on the line. So that is another way to make Tristan Hill expendable. But you never know. I want all hands on deck to at least get a shot at being looked at by this new coaching staff, because you never know. Tristan Hill may have just had a bad coach. He may actually have something that the previous coaching regime just didn't see. Definitely because of the style of play they had, it was a big difference from what we've had before, because that was the times that we wanted the big guys to stop the run up the middle. And if they could get to the quarterback, that's great. But it wasn't what Rod Marinelli was doing. He was straight up, I don't care about the run. I just want to take down the quarterback. And it backfired on us way too many times, because when they figured that that's all they wanted to do was rush the passer, that's when they just started running the ball all over us. And then our line was all out of position because they're too busy trying to rush upfield to get the quarterback. They never really went after the ball carrier. So you never know what can happen now that the coaching staff has changed. We may actually need a big guy like Tristan Hill. We'll have to see. We got a couple of training camp battles that we will not actually get to see, but hopefully the media group with the Cowboys will keep us updated as much as they can, because they'll have better access than pretty much anybody outside of the organization. So we'll have to see how, like, left guard, center, those battles are coming out. The aside from the top 3 wide receivers, what that's going to turn out to be. We're going to be looking at the cornerback group, of course. Who's going to actually fill out the defensive line. And it's going to be interesting. I can't wait. But that's all I got for y'all today. Feels great to be doing these videos daily again. There's been just so much uncertainty since the end of the season. The Jason Garrett saga took a little longer than it should have. The whole cloudiness of the Dak Prescott thing all off season just to basically have no resolution until getting kicked back to another year. So we gotta go through this again for the third year. But other than that, on paper, it's between us and the Eagles for the division. As far as on the field, we have no idea until we actually play against the Rams that first game what this is going to look like. It can look like complete shit on the field. It can look like a masterpiece on the field. But as one of the articles I read pointed out, we destroyed the Rams last season. And that was with the old coaching staff. So imagine if we lose with the new coaching staff. I mean, there's a lot of extenuating circumstances, but we can't get blown out by the Rams. We can't lose that game after what the last coaching regime did to them. I think it was, 44-12 or something? I mean, we really beat the snot out of them last year. And that was like a revenge game for losing in the playoffs the year before when they ran all over us. Now, granted, Todd Gurley wasn't the same. They didn't have Anderson running all over us. And Jared Goff regressed back to the mean instead of being otherworldly like they thought he was. And, it was a big difference, night and day, between the playoff game and then the regular season game last year. So this year, when we play them and open up their new stadium, it's going to definitely be, can y'all be the same team that beat them up last year? Are we going to put up those 20-something, 30-something odd points that everybody keeps guaranteeing that we could put up with CD Lamb now on the team and all the offensive weapons we got? Can our defense get it together? Our defense is definitely going to need a locker room leader. Somebody's going to need to be out on that field being a general. I know Sean Lee is there, but he's not in the base defense all the time. So they're going to need somebody to step up and be that leader on the field. Get these guys in position. I hope it could be Clinton Dix, because that safety between him and Woods back there, I'm assuming they're going to be our starting safeties. They're going to be the guys to have to sit up there, count how many players are out there, make sure there's not 12 men on the field, and they're going to be our last line of defense as far as anything getting past them. So it's definitely going to be something to see. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all have a good Tuesday. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool, enjoy the day, and I'll talk to y'all later if anything else happens. Thanks again for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.